Man, welcome back. It's been way too long. Welcome back to the Zone Media, where all we do is create because creation is super dope, and we create because we're created by the creator. And we collaborate because collaboration thrives creativity. That's the life. That's what we do. That's how we live. That's what we're about. Today, y'all know what time it is. It's Let's Talk with Robert Vaughn. And I think today's title is a little special for us. And I'm gonna let him introduce it and say what it is and how it is and why he chose what he chose, because it's about to go crazy.
Hey, it's good to be back. Here we go again. Let's see if we can make some sense out of this thing. Uh, what we're going to talk about today, and we'll jump right into it, is everybody, no matter what business you're in, has probably been affected in one way or another by the coronavirus. And what this means is that the way we did business 4 or 5 months ago is probably not how we're going to be doing business moving forward. There's a business model for music business, for the car business, whatever business you're in. The business model is gonna change a little bit. For instance, in the music business, you probably won't see huge concerts for a while. Most of the labels have kind of like gone on vacation, kind of shut down and not doing promo, not pushing songs, not booking shows, not looking for new talent, not signing anybody. So things are a little different, and because of that, it's going to be more up to the artist and the producer to function more independently going forward. Now, this isn't the first time that the music business has gone through a crisis, or what I like to call a paradigm shift, and that the way we did business yesterday is not how we're going to do it moving forward. For instance, in 1979, we had the oil crisis, and some of you are probably too young to remember, but there wasn't enough gasoline to go around. So that kind of tanked the world economy. And because of that, people started listening to more CDs. I don't know if CDs kind of pulled the music business out of the doldrums, or if it was just a byproduct whose time had come. But because CDs came on the set, everything then had kind of stopped for about 18 months. And, the rise of the CD, I think, made music more affordable. It made it got into more hands of more people. So that kind of sparked the music business, along with Michael Jackson, getting people to go back in the record stores and buy CDs. And then as we move forward in 1987, we had an economic crash. And because of that, a lot of businesses weren't really functioning efficiently, music business included. So you had a lot of consolidation. Sony bought EMI, and this company bought that company, and it sort of had a shakeout, and a lot of consolidation. And then in 2001, you had 9/11. And when 9/11 happened, there were no world tours for like 14, 16 months, over a year. There just wasn't any touring. There was hardly any travel, and nobody was just doing tours. But what happened in 2002, the music business came back, and that was really live gigs went to a different level, in terms of how many, and how many live gigs there were, and how people were touring. And I think that's really when international touring kind of took off for other artists other than the Beatles and the Stones and Michael Jackson, and everybody got a piece of that, because live gigs really took off because of the, I think, the pin up demand from 9/11. And here we are again, 2020, coronavirus, and it's we're gonna come out of it. People love music, people need music, and the music business has been It's been down before, but never out. So we'll come out of it. And I think the important thing to remember is that you want to be prepared. So when we do come out of it, you can come out of it. You can hit the ground running. For instance, this is a time when a lot of us may be at home, may have a home studio, may not, but this is a time where you can create a lot of content. This is an excellent opportunity to create content. I always wanted to play the guitar, so I've been practicing a couple hours a day. I said, well, there's something good that can come out of this. So, if you're an artist, you want to definitely start preparing yourself. And the different revenue streams that you took advantage of before. There's going to be some realignment. For instance, sync activity, publishing, will be a little more important because there won't be as many live gigs right off the bat, but there'll still be opportunities to get your music in TV shows, in movies. There'll still be an opportunity to do jingles. There'll still be an opportunity to sell music and collect publishing. I think marketing at this time, marketing is going to be extremely important. So the way you market your music and the focus that you put on marketing, you may want to crank it up a little bit because there are a lot of musicians out there. A lot of them will get this figured out and a lot won't. And some people that are around now that have viable music careers may not be around if they don't take advantage of some of the opportunities, such as the sync opportunities and the publishing opportunities. Um, Labels won't be doing as many deals, and like I say, the technology rescue, this time around could be data analytics, which is really kind of taken off. And probably it's been around for a while, but I think more people are becoming aware of it and how it can be used to enhance record sales and ticket sales. So I think you'll see data analytics. I think you'll see live streaming. You can every 2 seconds I'm getting hit up. Somebody's doing live streaming. So live streaming will be around, and you can monetize live
That's what
streaming.
we doing.
Yeah, yeah, and you can monetize it if you're an artist, if it's good enough. You know, um, for instance, I saw a program I hadn't seen before. It's called The Song at TGL Farms, and what it is, it's a program that's shot in Nashville, and TGL Farms is this ranch that people go to record. It's got a recording studio, and you got these gorgeous horses, and you can go fishing, you can go hunting, I mean, it's almost like a paradise where you can make music, and you can go there and make music and kind of hang out. um, but they've been doing a TV show from there, and it's really really entertaining. And it's entertaining because and they have all different kind of artists. It's not just country artists. They had CeeLo Green. They have Cowboy. Well, forget his name. He does hip hop. So they have a lot of different varieties of music. But one of the things that they have is that they present the music in a way where it's live. You have live musicians. It's sort of an acoustic session, but they'll have a full band, and it's very entertaining. So something like that will be around, and that's an opportunity to live stream something like that. But you have to have something more than just someone sitting up there singing a song. You have to have a background. You have to frame it. Music, I think now it's going to do better if it's attached to something else. Like not a skit, but if it's a little more theatrical. If it's a live stream, movies, gaming, TV. I think these are going to be the opportunities. Probably 2021 going forward, there are going to be a lot more opportunities there because the live shows are probably going to take a little while to come around. and they're probably going to come around. They're going to start slow, and they'll probably come around in Europe before they do here because they're ahead of us in terms of controlling the coronavirus. So you probably would see opportunities in Europe before you do here, which is all the more reason to live stream because you want people to see you wherever they are because you never know where your music's going to take off. Also, I think artists will have to be more innovative and creative and also more independent. Artists have to you have to be an owner. You have to create your content. You've got to produce your music. You've got to develop your brand. I think because there won't be as much help as it was before from from labels and other people and management that may want to put money in. So I think artists are going to have to be more independent and be owners of their music and of everything that goes along with it. um, I think as a musician, one of the things you want to do is you want to diversification is really the key. You want to be diverse in what you do, but you also want to find out what you do best. For instance, if you say, well, I'm real good at Spotify. My Spotify numbers are really taking off. I got a lot of people starting to Shazam me. I'm really good at that. I'm not so good at YouTube. And someone else may say, hey, I'm great at live streaming. I get more people on a live stream than I do when I put a video on YouTube. So you want to find out what you do best, better than everyone else, and you want to focus on that. For instance, live shows, like I said, they're going to start off slow. So if there are other things, other revenue streams, you want to find out what you do better than most people, and that's what you want to focus on because that's where you're going to get, most of the opportunity from. Also, I just want to say, music is it's really it's people need music, especially now because streaming has gone up about 65%, and YouTube has gone up over 75% because a lot of people have more time to really listen to music. Here again, this is a great opportunity, to make some inroads in what you do best. Also, I just want to say this again: music, I think, will do better if it's attached to something else, not just someone, singing in front of a camera, but if the music is attached to someone else, in terms of maybe, developing your brand. Maybe you play, maybe you talk a little bit, maybe you tell people who you are. Maybe you play a little game, not to name that tune, but maybe you find some innovative ways to, integrate your music or integrate your brand into what everybody else is watching and streaming. Because the industry here again, the industry is kind of on hold right now, and this will change, but you want to be prepared. You want to create a lot of content. So when this does, eventually come to an end. I mean, they could find a vaccine in 6 months. It might be a year, but eventually, this too will pass. And you just want to be prepared with content and ready to hit the ground running. If you have a home studio or if you have an iPhone and you're a songwriter, in 3 or 4 months or 5 months, I mean, you should be able to crank out 20 or 30 songs. You want to, like I say, here again, take advantage, find out what you do good, and do that. Also, you want to be original in what you do. You want to. I would do some covers, but I would focus, I think, more on original music because this is going to be a good time to kind of differentiate yourself To be outstanding, you have to stand out, and you can't really stand out doing somebody else's music. So when you live stream, when you do videos, whatever you're doing, you want to be original. There'll be um, an evolution. There'll be a changing of the business model. For instance, you know, um, labels now, um, they may not need as many offices because a lot of things are going to take place remotely now. They may come back and say, wow, we had an office in Detroit. I don't think we need that office anymore. They're not going to be, they're not going to do $300,000-$400,000 videos for a while. Travel is limited, obviously. So I think just a lot of the societal shifts, in dealing with this virus is going to dictate how the business changes and where a lot of the opportunities will be.
So
Uh,
I'm sorry. So there's a question
sure.
on Twitch. Somebody asked, "What's the best route?" Because you were talking about the business and different how it's changing. They said, "What's the best route to get a placement with a major artist?" It said emailing the artist is directly is not productive.
Well, I think here again, in the old days, it used to be who you knew, who you know, you had to know this person, and now it's who knows you. If you have some good music and you get yourself out there, get out there on Instagram, get on YouTube, get on Facebook, and TikTok is really sort of kind of taking a lead on getting artists out there. So you want to be on TikTok and you want to get your music out there on social media platforms and streaming. And if you're not working, there's no reason you can't stream every day. If you're off and you're not working and you're creating music, you should stream music every day, and you should give your fans a little something extra because they want to hear music. But I think in terms of getting your music out to artists, major artists, is you just want to get it out there. You want to perform it. You want to go on YouTube. You want to perform it on Instagram. You want to
I think
perform it
this
on
is
TikTok. Mhm.
just I think this is coming from a producer standpoint. So I think a producer is sending out beats to major artists.
Well, I think if a producer, you want to get somebody to perform your song and let everybody see that it's a great song, and you want to that's what I think that's one of the best ways is to have somebody perform it and have somebody say, hey, that's a great strong song. It got streamed X amount of times. Well, who wrote it? Who produced it? And if it's a good enough song, they'll get in touch with you. Here again, you can I about the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been periodically calling people I know in the business just to kind of see how the business is changing and kind of what they see going forward. And I think a lot of the artists, they go on Twitter, you know, they watch YouTube, and I think if you follow some of these artists and if you get some music out there, I think they'll find you. But in terms of submitting it, I think that whole business model is probably going to be changing because data, and we covered this a couple of weeks ago. Data analytics is used by all labels now in terms of what is a hit song or who's going to be the greatest artist. And one way you can demonstrate you know the worth of your song is to get it out there and get some action, get some traction. Get it on TikTok and other places, and they'll find you if it's a good song. I guarantee you they'll find you. But like in terms of sending it out, as a producer to an artist, that's kind of on hold now, because the most artists get so much music every day. It's crazy, and labels, they get so much music. I remember I was in the A&R's office once, and we were talking, and they someone brought in a stack of CDs that people sent in. And at the end of the room, he had like a basket, like a basketball hoop. and below was a garbage can. He used to take these CDs and see if he could make it in the basket. And I said, "Well, aren't you going to listen to him?" He said, "I get so many." He said, "If there's a good one out there, somebody will let me know about it, or I'll hear it." And so that's kind of what happens most of the time when you send music in. But here again, be original in what you do. Um, you know, um, Music industry is always going to be here, but I think the way it operates is going to be a little bit different. I think now you want to focus on social media. Contacts. One of the things I've been doing is kind of hitting up all my contacts. Say, hey, how's it going, man? You all right? How's the fam? You guys good? What's going on? What do you see happening? And just kind of staying in touch with everybody. Um, I think going forward, I think talent and performance um, is going to be even more important because here again, there's going to be a lot of shakeout. Anytime you have a big change, you always have a lot of shakeout. Some people make it, some people don't. And I think with talent and performance, if you're a producer, you want to get your music out there and have somebody perform it so people can hear what you do. Because when you hear a good song, the first thing you say is who's singing it, and then the next thing, who wrote it. So I think if you get something good, get it out there, and they'll find you. Um, I think you want to, you want to create music, and also you want to create some traction because with streaming and various other things you can do now, you can create a little traction and maintain the traction you had. And another thing, if on social media, look and see what the most successful song you had before. What kind of song was it? Who liked it? Well, let's reach back out to some of those people. Let's send them your new song and see what they think. You know, um, Look at your most successful posts and kind of see what they have in common. The subject matter. What day did you drop them? Did you drop them on Sunday night? That sort of thing. And viewers, people need music. I mean, this is a great time to listen to music. 'Cause I've been listening to, like every day. I'll take an hour or two and I say I want to listen to this type of artist. Or I want to listen to artists from Portland, Oregon. I want to listen to artists from Texas and see what they're doing down there. So I think people have the opportunity to listen, but I think you're going to have to give them some value. And you're going to have to make it entertaining and also make it educational. When you do your live stream, talk a little bit and you know give a little bit of music and extend your brand. Let people know who you are and what you do and why you do what you do, because brand is so important too. And I think post coronavirus, moving forward, I think things like brand is gonna they're gonna be it's gonna be more even more important. Here again, there's going to be shakeout. Some people will come out better, some will come out worse. But if you want to, you know, s- keep your traction going and do some of these things and make sure that when the smoke clears, you're still standing. Um, yeah, work on new songs, interact with fans. You should really, really be interacting with your fans. Now it's a great time to take some time and if you have somebody on Twitter, hey, talk to them. You know, you know, take some time out, have a conversation. And I think some of the key things you want to do is number one, first and foremost, is create content. And I would if you're not familiar with TikTok, I would get familiar with TikTok. That seems to be where a lot of the newer breaking artists kind of got their traction.
That's how
Um,
Drake got to be number one.
yeah, 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 and also one of the things that data analytics does is that they're identifying good songs and good artists before they know how good they are. That's what happened with Khalid. They looked at the data from his social media, told them that he had a lot of things in common with Cardi B when she was at that particular point, and she went on to be a big star. So they draw certain comparisons and say, well, he's right here and he's here, so he's probably going to be a big star. And they use data analytics also with Megan Thee Stallion and also with Lizzo. They actually knew they were going to be stars before they actually were stars. So you want to, you know, uh, use TikTok, use other avenues, work on your brand. Refine your brand. Um, extend your brand. Maybe into places, check out different types of music. Maybe you like this type of music. Well, check out something else. Because I think moving forward, people with more crossover appeal are probably going to do a lot better. Because one thing the labels try to do is they try to say, well, this is urban music. This is country music. This is this kind of music. This is that kind of music. But a lot of successful music now is crossing over to all different genres. And I think with more independence, from artists, more independent artists and more artists kind of doing their own thing, you're probably going to see a lot more of that. You say, well, it sounds a little country, but then it's got a hip hop beat in it, and it's got about half of it is rapping, but then again, you got some harmonies, and it sounds like it could be a little R&B there, but and a lot of songs are crossing over because they incorporate many different styles and genres of music. I think you want to release music you've been sitting on. What are you sitting on music for? This is a time when a lot of people are listening to music. Release it, get it out there. It doesn't do you any good, if you just sit on it. And the thing about music, because a lot of people, there's two schools of thoughts here. Some people say, well, I'm going to sit on this till things break, and then when it opens back up, I'll let it out. And then another school of thought says, well, people are listening to music right now. Why not release it, and maybe there's a better chance that it could get some traction. And I believe, releasing music is probably the best because sometimes music taste change, society changes, and what might be a hot song now, by September, they might be off something else. Something else might be going on because music reflects society. There's a lot of change in society. So I would say if you got a good song, get it out now. No sense in holding on to it. And there's something called reactive marketing that's used. A lot of labels use it, a lot of individuals use it, and basically what it is that when things happen in society, we got the coronavirus. People are making songs about it. Making songs about coming together, being as one, helping people. So and that's marketing that reacts to situations that are going on in society. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a very effective form of marketing because it's contemporary. It's what's going on now. Make a track about what's happening. You never know because that's something that's definitely will have crossover appeal and something everybody can relate to. You want a live stream, definitely. And here again, create content, work on your brand, live stream, release music, marketing, be original, you know, try to attach your music to something else, for instance, sync. There are a lot of sync opportunities now because people are watching a lot more TV programs, so they need a lot more music. So look at some music. I know a young lady that sends me music, and every song that she sends me, I say, "Wow, that sounds like a soundtrack." So eventually somebody will probably say the same thing. Here again, that's another opportunity. But like I said, this is just it's a temporary situation. It's going to change the paradigm. It's going to change the way we do business. But on the other side, there will still be a music business, and it'll still make a ton of money, probably even more. With data analytics and streaming, a lot of times technology um, sort of pushes change in the music industry, and and things that happen in society also push change. I remember, after the Vietnam War, there were so many songs about the war, it's like ridiculous. And a lot of them, Jimi Hendrix had Machine Gun, you know, who was it? Edwin Starr had War. I mean, there was so many songs about the war. The Beatles had 5 or 6 of them, and that was reactive marketing. The business will be here, and hopefully, if you can, position yourself correctly, you can take advantage of it when it does start to open up again. Because what you want to do is you want to stay relevant. So when touring starts to take off, you'll be ready to go.
Right.
And when people start buying music again, which they're still buying it now, but you got to see what you do good. And stream every day. If you're at home all day, you should stream every day. You should practice your instrument
Every
for
day.
a couple of
Do
hours, and
something.
you should write music every day. And it's like doing your PhD. Going to grad school. This is your grad school.
Right.
Hit the books hard, and when you graduate, and you'll be more qualified to do what you've chosen as your life's profession.
Yeah, I think a lot of times
You know.
people don't see it as that though.
Mhm.
I think they feel like, oh, I can just it's just music, and it's like, no, like this is your life.
Yeah, and they call it the music business for a reason. I mean, I can't tell you how many talented people I know that are just talented in their own basements
Hmm.
because they didn't. You know, somebody told me once when I first got in, I said, "Yeah, the music. It's all about the music." They said, "Yeah, but just keep in mind it's about 10% music, and about 90% business." Because if you don't handle your business, nobody will ever hear the music.
Right.
Which that may be a little extreme, but there's a lot of truth to that. So
Right.
yeah, that's
Okay.
that's about that's about all I have. I just be prepared. As Oprah say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So
Already.
be prepared. So if you get called up to the majors, you're ready to step in and start pitching.
All
So
right.
yeah, so that's about all
Well,
I got.
well,
Uh-huh.
as always,
Uh-huh.
definitely let some people know how they can get in touch with you if they got any follow up questions or anything like that. How they can reach out.
Okay. I can be reached on Facebook at Robert Vaughn or either at Russell, Russellent group at gmail.com. And if you have any questions, also on Instagram at Russell1, Russellent group one. So Russell Ent group one. Reach out and just, let me know what you think. And, you know, let some subjects you'd like to cover, because we're going to bring on some guests, and we will have guests, as a matter of fact, in about a couple of weeks, you're going to have a guest on that talks about licensing. This is a young lady who's been extremely successful at getting her music licensed, and she was an artist, and I kind of didn't know what happened to her. And here, she's been getting all. She's probably got music in about 11 or 12 TV shows now, so that's pretty good. So she's going to be one of our guests, and we're going to cover some of the subjects that that people don't get to talk about a lot.
Right.
And we're going to bring on people who are legitimate people who've done these things, and just let you know what they did, and maybe there'll be a nugget or two in there for you.
That's what's up. Well, I'm excited. I'm
Okay,
excited.
yeah. So
Well, let's stay connected. Y'all know what the time it is. Always create because you're created by the creator. Collaboration thrives creativity. This is where he is. Welcome to the Zone Media, where we provide information, creativity, inspiration, and motivation. Tune in next week on Mondays. We got some dope shows coming up this week. So make sure you check them out. With no further ado, we out.
the beat goes on.